be really clear about one thing, okay? It has not been definitively proven that David and Celeste ever met at all, though online videos and pictures and chats and conversations and live streams, they sure seem to prove and show otherwise. What is definitively proven is that Celeste had a boyfriend named David, and that the singer apparently had a girlfriend named Celeste. Let's also remember that David has not been charged with any crime. David has not been named a suspect. David has not even been named a person of interest. And no one that we know of is in Entourage has been named a person of interest either. Mum's the word on all of it.
What's up, people? This your boy Plug, and I'm back with another update. Another update. Another update. I guess nobody is seeing it the way I see it in the Celeste and David situation. Like I said, the evidence is not lining up right now. People are trying to make online chatter into real evidence, and it just don't work like that. LAPD hasn't done anything remotely to arrest anyone. In fact, they released the body to the family. So basically, their investigation or the examination of the body is over.
You don't have to be a medical examiner to know that a dead body does not stand a chance when stuffed into the trunk of a black Tesla and left in the Los Angeles heat in August. The natural process of decomposition goes into overdrive, and so it did with Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body had decomposed so badly that when it was found on September 8th, one day after her 15th birthday, some reports said only a head and torso was found. Had she been dismembered? Or was the decomposition so bad that her head and torso were all that could be recognized at first? Investigators continue to list the young victim's cause and manner of death as deferred, meaning undetermined, but they've also now returned Celeste's remains to her family. So was the medical examiner able to fill in all those important blanks? Or did they have to give up looking because the answers are impossible to get?
Look, we don't know what happened to this body. We know it was found in David's Tesla, but the medical examiner hasn't given the cause of death, and that's strange. Online, people say she was pregnant, but when you think the medical examiner would put that in the report? Right now, there is no cause of death. There is no evidence of a pregnancy. Everybody's just taking this story and running with it. But let me play a few clips to just back up what I'm saying. Check it out.
I just can't believe this report that the body has been returned to the family. Would they list the cause and manner of death the minute they find it? Or the fact that it's not listed and the remains have been returned, does that mean we're not going to get it?
No, I don't know that it necessarily means that we're not going to get the cause of death. I think that it might be coming. However, it might be vague. We might hear things like homicidal trauma and nonspecific homicidal trauma, perhaps. But here's something I want you to understand. If you look at the flyer that they put out, when she was missing, you notice her weight? It was 120.
Yeah.
Now,
was it like 70 pounds or something crazy?
Right. When they recovered her remains, Ash, 71 pounds. That's 49 pounds she's missing. So what can we determine from that? Well, we've heard reports of dismemberment, and there was one report from the police that said the body was not intact. So either we're missing something or she's in such an advanced state of decomposition. And look, I don't want to go too far over the top here, but bodies do have a tendency to break down and even liquefy to a certain degree. And in this heat, and I even remember in August, I've got friends in LA, and they were talking about it was a record-breaking heat wave that they were in during this specific period of time. And heat, as we know, speeds everything up.
If she were pregnant, could the investigators tell that?
Yeah, the key is going to be the uterus here, I think. I don't know how much information we could get relative to hormonal changes, which are things that we look for in pregnancy, right? In the postpartum state, though, what you're going to be looking for is the uterus. Does the uterus survive? Is it still there, or has it been done away with? If it's there, there might be some histological changes you could appreciate. But, I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
If the uterus is not intact, there's no way to tell just from the liquefied remains if the hormonal changes are there or if evidence of pregnancy is there?
I think that would be very, very difficult. Those tests are very, very sensitive. And this far downrange, I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Okay, if it is possible, if her uterus, because they did say they found a torso. So if her uterus was intact and they are able to determine if she's pregnant, if she were pregnant, would they be able to determine paternity, even in advanced decomposition?
Oh, excellent question. That's really difficult to determine. I would say probably not at this point, particularly if they can't recover a fetus. And, we've heard all kinds of wild rumors about this sort of thing. And I don't know that anything is going to be there. They haven't released that information yet. So I'm going to be sitting around just like you, waiting to hear more info from the medical examiner. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. I'd say that we've probably still got 4 to 6 weeks before we're going to hear anything. They're going to try to test every possible item that they recovered at autopsy. And not just that, but they're going to be exploring cause of death here. Her neck muscles, strap muscles, hyoid, and also anything relative to skeletal structure. Did she have a skull fracture in any way? Or was there any kind of bullet trauma? A lot to be learned from here.
So basically, there's no way to find out if she was pregnant and the cause of death. I mean, the medical examiner has had this body and released it already. Obviously, they still got to do some tests, but my deep down feeling is that we will not find out what happened to Celeste Rivas. And that's the sad part about it. And if David did have something to do with this, he might get away with it because all evidence is circumstantial. Everything I've seen is online and nothing is lining up. For example, the baby theory. They say they found remains in the backyard. There's no evidence. The so-called video of Celeste at David's concert has been debunked by TMZ. We do know that they are connected in some way, especially online. After all that being said, let's look into the only evidence that we really have, the Tesla.
And like all Teslas, the Model Y is battery powered, but it runs on information like no other car on the road. It has cameras and sensors and satellite connections that take in information constantly and send out information just as often. So what information might David's Tesla be able to share about the final moments of Celeste Rivas Hernandez? Effectively, what do you expect this particular data in this Tesla might tell us about who was on the outside of the car, getting into the driver's seat, driving it to the abandoned location, and maybe opening that trunk and closing it for the last time? What will we know about that?
Well, it's all going to depend on if Sentry mode was turned on. Because if Sentry mode was actually activated on the vehicle, then it's doing a lot of recording of video footage from its 8 external cameras. And so if that was the case, then you'd actually have clips of the people opening the door, a clip of someone opening the trunk, and that could possibly be recovered by the police. Now, if Sentry mode's not turned on, then it's not going to be doing any of those recordings. And what you'll get is recordings when the vehicle's in motion versus when it's stationary.
So this vehicle was in motion, presumably with Celeste's body in it, because it was abandoned. Do you think there'll be data that's retrievable about where it drove from before it ended up in its final resting spot in the abandoned street side prior to being towed? And will it register when that trunk closed for the last time?
Yes, it should. It's all a matter of whether or not that data is still on the car or if it's on the Tesla servers. So your vehicle actually communicates with the Tesla servers almost constantly, and it's usually doing that over a cellular connection, but it can also do it over Wi-Fi. So it's sending a treasure trove of information back to the Tesla servers. And so as long as the information is still either on that server or the car, then you can get a lot of information such as when were the doors open, when was the trunk opened, and then as long as the memory stick that records all the videos hasn't been removed from the vehicle, because that is the only thing that a individual that owns the vehicle can actually do to wipe data effectively and quickly, is to pull the memory stick. And if you do that, that's where all the video recordings are stored for the Sentry mode.
Can they do it from a remote location? Can they wipe what's on that memory stick from a remote location?
Yes, actually they can. So you can just do it with your Tesla app. And so as you said in your introduction, I have a Tesla, so I use Sentry mode, and I can go in and look at those videos at any time. I can actually activate some of the cameras straight from my smartphone. And so if you do that, you can watch the videos, and then you can also delete them from the internal memory of the car from your app.
Is there a delete file? Is there a delete file? It's like, if I can delete something off my computer, the police can still find it. Is it the same with the Tesla?
It all depends because of the type of memory that it's using. It's like a really fancy thumb drive, basically. And so if they get that drive out of the car rather quickly, then yes, there's a very good likelihood they can recover those deleted videos. But if they were deleted and then a lot of other videos were created after the fact, then they might not be able to recover them, such as the car sat for, say, 8 days, and the Sentry mode kept activating after they deleted all the video footages. Then there is a less likelihood that they'll actually be able to retrieve the video of the body being placed in the vehicle.
And meaning, will Tesla play ball, or will they have to subpoena Tesla?
Exactly. So the information is on the vehicle, but it's really hard to get off the vehicle. And on a 2023 Model Y, it's near impossible for anyone but Tesla to actually get that data off of the vehicle due to the encryption the vehicle now.
Yeah, they've been helpful before when that Cybertruck blew up at the hotels. Elon Musk's company handed over all sorts of information, and we found out everything about that guy who did it. Last quick question. Once that final trunk closed, is there data that will record as to whether it's just one person who got in the driver's side and drove it to where it is, or will it record that a passenger door may have opened as well, and we might know if more people are involved in this sinister act?
Yes, you should be able to see what doors were open. And also, if it had any passengers, it does log whether or not there's passengers in the vehicle. It doesn't have like a scale to tell you weight, but it will tell you if there were passengers sitting there, and it's part of the seatbelt and airbag system.
So our Tesla is the best piece of evidence. It has a whole lot of information that we can gain about the driver, about the timeline, about the whole situation with Celeste Rivas. I do want to say rest in peace to Celeste, and we out here praying for your family. We do want justice for you. But if you like this video, don't forget to comment and share. Thank you for listening. Peace.
Hey. Plug talk. You're looking at the plug. Understand how the fuck my plug talk. Ooh, you know I got it.
Brought to you by Daily Plug. Yeah.